Welcome in to the new members and to the old members that have found their way back to the community. I need you just as much as you need me. On this morning's update, we're going to talk about a number of different topics here. We're going to stick to the technical analysis, but we're going to go from XRP as it's up over 5% today, up over 63.2 cents. As we know, we've been telegraphing the move to 66.6 cents since we double bottomed within the descending triangle formation from the January of 2024 pattern. It was at 48.4 cents approximately, and we called and said if you have not bought into XRP, what a great time to buy in. If on the immediate move, you could be up 35 to 40% from the time you bought, and then have that leverage underneath to see whether or not you want to sell out, figure out if you're going to be in a long holder, accumulator, or whatever the case may be. And it's taken a series of weeks, but XRP's done it in rhythm. First, we broke the descending triangle from January 2024, got the validation, we pushed out, and then back tested 52.8 cents on a massive 13.2% drop. Then we pushed up to the July of 2023 formation, pushed up and over, had a volatile drop back down, back tested it, and now we pushed over today, well yesterday, but in today's candle, we continued to move up. Yesterday daily close, we closed and held a major pivot point of 60 cents. And as I said yesterday, if you were part of the live, I said after the close, it was going to initiate an immediate rally. It wasn't going to pull back. And that 60-cent close over that pivot level was going to be the signal for us to move up about 15% to 66.6 cents. It was like 13 to 15%. And now, as we can see, we're up to 63.3 cents. That doesn't tell the whole story because we came up a little higher overnight. But as of right now, we'll look at the fact that we're up 5.27% on the day. And we're approaching that 64-cent mark. We have come down a little bit from the overnight hours. But we'll take a very deep look at what's going on with XRP as far as the daily rotation for the morning. And then we need to look at Bitcoin as well, as it's down 576 points. But is this more of a bear trap in this part of the formation? And is Bitcoin actually setting up more of a bull flag breakout? So we'll take a close look at that. We'll make sure we take a look at the Bitcoin dominance chart, because still 53.86% of all money coming into crypto is going to Bitcoin still. So that's a rather large majority. When we had the bull run in 2021, it was all the way down to like 37 to 39%. But on average, 41% of all money was going into crypto or into Bitcoin. But that left 12% of right now would be 12% of 2.2 trillion could have been split into the altcoins. So that's something to continue watching. You can't have an alt season in the sense that we're thinking if Bitcoin dominance is so high. So we're going to take a look at the Bitcoin chart as it's down about 1% on the day. It's still well over a key support area. And we'll take a look to see what the most likely trend or the direction is for Bitcoin on this Saturday morning. And then we also need to look at XRP's market cap, as it's well over a major resistance level, but now it's opening up the door for higher targets. And we'll get into the very end. We'll read this, how Ripple XRP stands at a crossroads of crazy bullish momentum at $1 XRP price if this happens. So we'll read this at the very, very end, and we'll go over this. It's actually a pretty interesting article. And it talks about the seller exhaustion and how the bulls are signaling bullish continuation. But we'll see exactly how that plays out. So I'm going to timestamp this. Please make sure to hit that like button so YouTube recommends this video. It's not just for the new viewers. It'll allow some older viewers who are, maybe they've wanted to see the updates, but it's not showing up in their feed anymore. And by all of you hitting that like button and YouTube recommending this video, the algorithm once again puts it back into the older viewers' YouTube feed, and they find their way back home. So good morning, 9:33 a.m. Eastern Standard Time on this Saturday, March 2nd, 2024. I'm XRP Future Millionaire, and I reside in the great state of Michigan. So let's just start here. XRP is up 5.14% to 63.26 cents. Right now, XRP has made a beautiful push up. We've been talking about 66.6 cents. Now, overnight, it did come to 65 cents. So we have had a little bit of a retracement here. I know a lot of times all of the dirty work happens overnight when we're all sleeping. But right now, XRP's come down about 3%. We're looking to hold this second key resistance level that we're now trying to use as support. So the 60-cent pivot point was important. We needed to get on top of that and have a close to signal a further push up. It was going to be an extreme or quick move after the daily close, and we talked about it yesterday. And now what you're doing is you're doing a very key back test. So when we broke over 60-cent resistance, that opened the door for us to run up to that 62.72 area. That was the swing high after we broke out of the pattern formation. And then after the consolidation retest, let me go to the other chart. It'll be a lot easier to see what I'm trying to show you right now. But we broke out right here. We broke out. This is July of 2023 formation. We had a swing high at about 6256. We came back down, retested perfectly at 577. Like I said, when it happened, you could not have tailor-made that retest anymore. And to me, it proves that the trading bots are well, because it retested every step of the way. Even when it came back here, all that retested was the January of 2024 pattern break, the pattern breakout. Whoops, wrong chart. But we retested, well, right here, we retested this perfectly. Like, you can't make this up. We came down, retested the 534, and then continued on. And now it's pushing up to the 66.6 cent resistance. I tell no lies here. I know sometimes I look ridiculous because I front run it by so much, but I talked about the 35 to 40% rally that was coming off of 48.8 cents or 48.4 cents. And if you didn't buy in at 34 cents when we did, we talked about how 48 cents, when that double bottom hit on that descending triangle, it actually was a triple bottom that was set up. And it was an inverted head that we were speculating on. We can see the inverted right shoulder formed. Now it's coming up to the inverted. It's just continuing to form this pattern. And now, from the bottom, this pattern not only first jumped up the 10%, but right now, if you would have bought it from the bottom, even where it's at now, you're up 30%. If you would have bought it from that triple bottom or the W reversal we talked about, that was going to ignite this rally of about 35 to 40% up to 66.6 cents. This has essentially fulfilled this entire pattern. If we're splitting hairs now, and let's just say it didn't come up to 666 and it ended at 653, that's fine. You know, we can split hairs. It missed by 3.5%. But I still think it's tugging that 66.6 cents because we have to see how we react to this area. And then ultimately, I still think we've still got to come up here to the all-time formation from the swing high, or the all-time high formation. I still think we're going to have to retest that area at some point. And if 65 or 66.6 cents breaks out, we're going to be firmly within a much nicer formation here. Where the heck's my other chart? Right here. It still seems like to me, and that's why we had the 62.5 cents. That was a big pivot point. 75 cents is over here on the top, and that's why yesterday in the live, in the title, I put XRP 75 cents. It might not just be 66.6 cents. And then ultimately, if we did break above this, and it's very important to keep running through this for everybody who's new. If you're new, or if you're an older viewer, pay attention to this so you can continue to understand this rotation. So what happened here was XRP in January of 2018, folks, we went up to all-time highs at $3.30 on Bitstamp. It just all, or BITUNIX on some of the, or Bitstamp on some of these other ones, it was $3.50. Then it took us a series of 27 months to come all the way down here, folks, from $3.50 or $3.30 on this exchange, all the way down to 10 cents and some change on March of 2020. It took that long to come down here. 27 months to hit the new uptrending support of the swing low after the swing high, or all-time highs. Then we had the lawsuit announced right here in December of 2020, had a volatile swing down, and then boom, right up for 400, or right up for about a 15x. 2021 comes, April, bear market rally ends. Ones in 2018 from January from all-time highs, if they didn't sell, still 45% bear. Then we had an extreme sell-off. After the bear market rally, 22 we held, 23 we held, continued to hold. Now we're coming up, didn't resist. Now we're looking to get that next hit on that downtrending resistance, would be the third hit, and would confirm this pattern, as we've already had 4 hits on the uptrending support. And that's why we theorize 75 cents still has to hit. Even if this pattern is overtly bearish, we still have got to get over and at least retest this 75 cent area. So that's where we would be targeting if and when the 66.6 cent rising channel resistance were to break and we were to get a successful back test and hold that. So that's where we'd be looking at for the rising channel resistance if that broke. And then this is the pattern resistance. I still theorize that we've got to break. If we don't break this 6-year consolidation from January of 2018 after we had all-time highs, this would be a major rejection point. It would tell us the pattern's still bearish. And then you would ride within this pattern until it ends. And it has to end in December of 2024 this year. I know in 21 when we talked about this, I go, oh my God, this pattern's so far away. 22, it's never going to take that long. 23, this is ridiculous. 24, I guess he was right. So now we sit in a position where we have to go through this formation. And if it does get rejected up here at 75 cents, we know it's going to consolidate through the rest of the year. It doesn't mean it has to come all the way to 38 cents, but typically if it were to get rejected up here, it would come all the way back down and try to prove support. And that's at 38 cents roughly. That's why we always say, even if you're trying to get sub 20, if the pattern formation plays true, the floor right now is 38 cents. If it comes through that, well, then we have to go back maybe to the 2017 up, or 2017 uptrend instead of 2020, which would be at 23 cents. But the pattern we're in hasn't given way in 6 years, so to think it's just going to give way, it could be a little naive of us, because then we might just miss what's going on in the immediate short term. So now that we have all those charts out of the way, if we look at in today's terms, we still broke out of the July of 2023 formation. Now that we're moving up, if you're just looking at it like, okay, well, this pattern doesn't matter anymore, forget the in and out, the rising channel resistance is next, but what if that wasn't there? Well, if we go back to the November of 2021 formation where I put the cup and handle where it formed the bullish handle, it already has the cup formation. It looks like the bullish handle was formed, and now if it is breaking out and we don't give back this support, first area is you're going to want to stay over 64, but we're just looking to stay over that 62.72 cents. 62.72 cents on today's daily close. That is our agenda today. We closed over 60 cents yesterday, so keep this into the short term. XRP today needs to close over 62.72 cents. It would signal a bullish continuation. Yes, the RSI is getting a little overbought right now for the relative strength of XRP. In the smaller time frames, you're going to definitely see that it's winning to overbought. But as you see with Bitcoin, as long as you can maintain the pull at 50, when it does do the pullbacks in the shorter time frames, the bulls are completely in control right now. And we talked about the liquidations. The leverage traders that have increased their holdings to 120% of liquidation, which means that they were liquidated and they put in more money to where that position would stay open because they felt the price was going to explode. And look what happened. They were doing that at 57, 61, 60 for the big drop down to 53.5. And now they've been rewarded because it came up and over that price. And now it looks like it's trying to put in a bullish handle. Right now, we do have some extreme bearish momentum, though, in the 30-minute. So just watch this as it happens, because this is clearing us out right now. 62, it's trying to retest 627. It's had a volatile swing from the swing high this morning from overnight. It was up at 65.15. We've dumped almost 4%. This is going to be the first time it's going to try to hold. Just like it did on the 60-cent pivot point for several days when it failed. We're going to see if this can hold it on tier 1, and then we can break out for Sunday still, or even Saturday. But this is your consolidation candle now. In these smaller time frames, we're consolidating. These could be exhaustion candles, or they're going to be something more. If they're an exhaustion candle, you're going to want to see in the hourly, the 2-hourly, you're going to want to see it successfully decreasing on these pushes. But we don't have any evidence right now. 30-minute, we had on the reversal, because all we can do, volume predicts price. So on the breakdown, we had 7.25 million in the 30-minute. Then we went to 13.87 million. And on this candle, we've got 16 minutes left, and it's already at 5.6 million. So, you're still getting volume consistently coming in. And if this breaks this area this morning, I don't want to say that it's going to, but if it does, you have to pay very close attention to that pivot point coming back down to that 60-cent level. You'd have to come back down to that 60 cent. Now, it might not be the pivot point. We could reach that first technical target out of the pattern formation, and that was around 60.8 cents. Then we got on top of it and held, and now we're continuing to break out. Now we're trying to back test the 62.72 resistance from the first swing up, and then it came all the way back down to 57.7 cents, back tested the formation, and now it broke out, had a daily close yesterday over 60 cents. And now it's starting to reverse back down because we're overextended. So we're going to see first layer 62.72. If that doesn't hold, pay very close attention to the 608 level. And then if that doesn't hold, we've got to hold the 60-cent pivot point. Otherwise, it's coming back through, and that's not going to make anybody happy. But like I said, we've already started breaking out. We had a bullish handle on the cup, and we started pushing up. So that doesn't look bearish to me. That looks more bullish. But now we have to have a bullish consolidation, which often looks bearish in the moment of consolidation. And we call those bear traps if they play out properly. So just be alert to that, as XRP should come through 63 cents and push down towards those areas we talked about. And Bitcoin right now is down 666 points, or 1.07%, at 61,766. And Bitcoin is absolutely in a bull flag right now until it busts. But it could actually be in a rotationary tug right now. It's not quite come through yet. But it's definitely, we got to pay attention to Bitcoin this morning because it's right at that uptrending support. If it loses 61,600 and this bull flag plays down, and this is just a short-term bull flag, we will clone this because, yeah, oftentimes it may look like a bullish thesis, but then it ends up breaking down. And if Bitcoin breaks down and loses 61,813, there's no reason to second guess the pattern. If it breaks down, Bitcoin would end up at about 58K like we talked about yesterday, and a massive consolidation if that is the way it decides to play out. Now, I'm not a financial advisor, so you're going to have to make your own educated and informed decision. But what I'm saying is if Bitcoin does get rejected here and it loses that pivot point, it's about 61,800, exactly where the bull flag breakdown would be. The technical target would be around 57,853. This could be a massive consolidation that we've been looking for, and then that could play it out. Otherwise, if this plays true out of what looks like a bull flag setup, which they don't have to break up, but if this formation breaks up, it would be 66,252, which is ironically the technical target out of the broadening wedge. It doesn't mean it has to hit it on this hit, but that is technically would fulfill this technical target. So it's either you're going up from here about 4,400 points, or you drop a good 4,000 points. So it's either up 4,000 or down 4,000, and that ends up being a move for Bitcoin either way of about 6% up or 6% down. So that's what we're looking at. That's what we have to pay very close attention to this morning. Other than that, it seems irrelevant. The XRP market cap is up 5.1% as it's up over 34 billion. We broke out of the ascending formation, pushed past the pivot level, which was that cup formation out of the ascending formation. And now we look to be targeting 38.9 billion. Now on a retest, as we know this morning, we're looking at about 33.7 billion for the market cap. And then we're going to see if it continues from there. If not, we have not had a volatile retest from this high of the top side of resistance of support on this formation at 32.4 billion. So if that's what it needs to do, it possibly could be hunting that. So we're going to read this last thing, and then we're going to call it a morning update. If you appreciate what I do, make sure to hit that subscribe button and join the almost 20,500 subscribers, as we're 11 subscribers away from 20,500. If you're looking at this and you're like, how do I buy XRP on this retracement? Or how do I buy it, period, in the USA? Look in the video description below and or pinned comments. There's BITUNIX. It's for the USA users and abroad, but USA users don't need to use a VPN. And they've never given up on selling us XRP. And it doesn't go down in high times of volatility. So I'm starting to shift over to BITUNIX just because I can use it while the high times of volatility. So take advantage of it. It's in the video description below and or pinned comments. Other than that, if you do appreciate what I do, it's the beginning of the month. I simply ask that you send one YouTube super chat per month or join Tom's Army as a way to pay it forward for the extraordinary amount of time I put in. And please hit that like button so YouTube will recommend this update. If you made it until the end, even though we're not technically at the end yet, we will be in a minute, type in hashtag be better, do better in the comments. So Ripple's XRP stands at crossroads of crazy bullish momentum to $1 XRP price if this happens. In the ever-evolving world of crypto, Ripple's XRP has caught the attention of enthusiasts and analysts alike with the potential for a significant price increase. A recent analysis suggests that XRP might be on the verge of bullish breakout, aiming to surpass the $1 mark. In this article, we'll delve into the key indicators, expert opinions, and market dynamics that could shape the future trajectory of XRP. So seller exhaustion signals bullish momentum. Recent observations on XRP's weekly chart has revealed intriguing signs of decreased sell pressure, hinting at the possibility of a rebound. Analyst Ali Martinez, a prominent figure in the crypto space, has weighed in on this potential bullish reversal. According to Martinez, the Tom DeMark TD sequential indicator points to a noteworthy trend. Red bars on the weekly or daily chart suggest that sellers are showing weakness. While optimism surrounds XRP's potential surge, Martinez emphasizes a crucial condition that could validate the bullish prediction. XRP needs to close above the 65-cent mark, signaling a confirmation above the positive trend, or a confirmation of the positive trend. Despite the encouraging signals on the weekly chart, there's contrasting views on the short-term outlook. The 4-hour time frame paints a more nuanced picture. XRP appears bearish in proximity to the 59-cent support level, and there's a possibility of a short-term decline to 52 cents if buyers fail to hold that level. Well, fortunately, we closed the daily over 60 cents pivot point, so this should no longer be a short-term bearish potential. We already made that pullback to 52.5 cents. So I'm not sure the relevance of breaking 60 and then coming back all the way to 52.5. That's already been met. So what they're talking about has already been fulfilled. Demand is another catalyst for XRP's potential upward movement. If XRP holds at 59 or surpasses the 65 resistance level, renewed buyer interest could propel the token back to 70 cents. Crossing the threshold is viewed as a crucial step that might set the stage for XRP to reach the coveted $1. I disagree. 70 cents is a BS. That doesn't even matter. 75 cents is the coveted level right now, all the way through past Easter. If we're doing this, 75 cents, the all-time formation we talked about from January 2018, all-time highs. That's what you would have to break, not 70. 70 cents is irrelevant. That's just going to push you up into a major resistance area at 75. So you can't predict $1 even until you break 80 cents, which is the July of 21 pattern. So if you're talking about the $1 coveted level, you have to break and hold 80 cents, and that would signal $1. I hate to break it to everybody. It's not 70 cents. The analysis also considered signals from the Awesome Oscillator, AO, which was initially positive, but is now showing signs of slowing down. This is also a lagging indicator. There are various potential scenarios, including a consolidation phase around 54, 56 of XRP rejection at 59 cent level. On the flip side, a highly bullish condition marked by a trendline breakout could increase the likelihood of XRP price reaching $1. The crypto community awaits the unfolding events as the XRP stands at the crossroads of potential bullish momentum. The convergence of technical indicators, expert analysis, and market dynamics sets the stage for a pivotal moment in XRP's price trajectory. Will it manage to close above 59 cents and pave the way for a surge towards 75 cents, or will short-term bearish pressures dictate a different narrative? Make sure to hit that like button. Hope this update found you